Good afternoon, welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now. March 20th, 2026, the war continues. Storm after storm, truly. Now in Israel, lightning and thunder are striking the Holy Land, but where lightning isn't striking, there is still thunder. It's about Iran, Israel, and the United States. Today we're focused on the missile silos, on the underground facilities, on the greatest threat to the whole world which is being attacked and destroyed today. But the biggest, the most serious thing is Donald Trump's statement, the poison message to the Atlantic Alliance, to NATO. Trump has called everyone cowards. It's the end of NATO. Fam, your likes, your comments. This is Military Strategies. Let's begin. Good afternoon, fam. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, straight from Israel, the Holy Land, to tell the world, to tell this great planet what is happening right now, what is going on. And it's not a small thing. Friday, Shabbat Shalom. For everyone, for those who celebrate and those who don't, now might be a good time to start. Because sometimes you have to rest. The only one who doesn't rest is the Eternal One up there, watching what his creation does. And I don't get tired either. I don't rest either. Honestly, from now until we finish the show. I'm going to go to the hospital because I think I need some kind of injection back there in my back because I can't move. That's right, 21 days of war. 21 days of war. It's terrible. It's horrible to live through, but anyway, it has to be told, and here we are. I think I'm one of the few, as Ariel Kanievsky says, one of the few crazy people who are capable of getting on a plane, coming to Israel during a war, to see how they're bombarded with cluster munitions, ballistic missiles, and drones. But here we are, reporting it firsthand. Family, welcome to your channel, to your community. We're on our way to 500,000, please. It's super important. For those of you watching the replay, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Just hit follow and leave your like. Activate the bell. Super important. So you can stay up to date with what's happening, what's going on right now, what this war is bringing, plus many other things. We're not just talking about the military operation itself. The images you're seeing from CENTCOM aren't just about military degradation, it's also political degradation. Today there are blackouts, we'll talk about that now. Afterwards, there was a new exit operation to the Virgin Islands by the United States and Israel. Israel is the one responsible for the blackouts. It's the cleanup team that's leaving Iran cleaner and safer for its citizens. The United States, for its part, is now focusing on the missile silos, especially in two very specific areas. We have geolocated them, we've been watching, and we've geolocated them so that they can obviously be targeted. Open the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump has spoken, Donny Potos. He told NATO that they are cowards and that they will pay for it. Donald Trump is very angry with NATO. Here we should start thinking about the United States' exit operation from NATO. It could be a real global earthquake. That would greatly embolden Russia. It would give wings to China and a few other countries, including Iran. The situation is serious, it's serious. What's happening, what's going on is extremely serious. You know, we're not anti-this or anti-that, I just say things as they are. Some channels and content creators are officially labeled as anti-NATO. I don't mind if people are anti-NATO or pro-NATO, this debate doesn't affect me. Honestly, my role here is to tell what's happening. What I can say from a neutral standpoint in this situation is that NATO's profile is very low. Today they fired at Turkey again. It's the fourth or fifth missile they've launched at Turkey. NATO does nothing, Turkey does nothing, Iran keeps laughing at everyone, Iran is testing everyone. The next missile will be against Greece, and you'll see it in a few days. And I hope I'm wrong, honestly. I hope I'm wrong, but the next missile will be against Greece. Is there any reason to think that NATO is finished? There are grounds to think that NATO is finished. NATO's structure doesn't work. It's useless. In this situation, the Strait of Hormuz cannot be legally closed because it cannot be legally closed. What Iran is doing is not illegal from any standpoint. The United Nations, the Security Council, does not immediately issue a resolution to reopen the Strait of Hormuz by military means. They are not doing it, they are not going to do it, because there will surely be a veto, but be careful, because the countries with veto power are all affected, Russia and China are affected. But also today, France, pay attention to this, France seized an oil tanker today in the Strait of Gibraltar. What you're hearing in waters of interest to Spain, an oil tanker, loaded with oil coming from Russia, flying the flag of Mozambique, has been seized. The Dana is the third oil tanker seized by France. France, which keeps getting on Putin's nerves, to put it mildly. Putin, whom they control, they don't get along badly or well, they get along better than well. Better than badly. Trump, who doesn't dislike Putin, really doesn't dislike Putin, and we've seen that over the past 2 years. This ship, the Dina, should have been immediately detained by the Spanish authorities, by the Spanish armed forces, by the Spanish Navy, and it hasn't been. And why? A few days ago, and I didn't want to mention it because we're overwhelmed with news, I didn't want to mention it, but that oil tanker, the Dina, is a ticking time bomb. It has no maintenance at all. It doesn't have any official flag because it sails under a false flag. It's a ship that no one was going to take responsibility for. If there was an accident, that ship has more than a 40% chance of disaster. It's a ticking time bomb, I insist. Spain has let it pass into the Mediterranean, and France had to step in and take it away from Putin. However, to open the Strait of Hormuz, they don't send their navy, they don't send NATO. Trump puts them to the test. Trump calls on allied countries. We need help to open the Strait of Hormuz and restore international navigation. Fuel and gas prices go down, stay stable. And this war against evil, against the terrorist regime of Iran, does not affect the citizens of this planet. Europe's response has been, it's your war, and Israel's, you deal with it, we're not interested. NATO's response has been, we're not going to send a single ship. However, in Spain, in the European Union, in all the countries, they're criticizing the rise in fuel prices, blaming Israel and the United States instead of blaming the one who has illegally closed the Strait of Hormuz, which is Iran. It's not about whether we knew or didn't know this was going to happen. It was clear that Iran was going to attack the ships. Who didn't know that? Anyone who didn't know must be living on another planet. What wasn't expected was that the military response from what are supposed to be military powers superior to Iran's capabilities would be non-existent. It's incredible that Israel, together with the United States, has to open the Strait of Hormuz when Israel has its own productivity para su consumo nacional. It's incredible that some guys sitting in Europe on their couches saying that the United States has to, and then we'll get cheaper oil ourselves. America has to put the lives of its men and women to liberate something that is for international use. Productivity? It's very serious. What has Donald Trump said about it? But before that, I would like to thank you all. Thank you so much for being here. Live with us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel after this intro, if you're still hanging in there and haven't run away, I invite you to stay. We're going to watch a lot of videos, a lot of work that I've been doing in the last few hours. I know, I can't help it. That's how it is. And I would also like to bring up something very important. It's unrelated to this, yet in some way it is connected. Today we have to mourn the death of one of the great war movie stars in history. Chuck Norris. Chuck is no longer with us. He has died at 86 years old the other day. A video was recorded of him. He looked healthy, but his time with us has come to an end. Chuck Norris, at 86 years old. In his action movies, he showed us some values of military life and also set an example in martial arts. The man who went to rescue the Americans in the Vietnam War? The man who rescued hostages in Beirut after a kidnapping by a Palestinian terrorist group. That movie, the Delta Force, year 86. The martial arts that launched missiles. One of his latest works in 2012, The Expendables. Chuck Norris, a true legend, a legend that will live on because his movies are still being watched. I'm remembering a couple of them, Cobra, for example, and a few more. Sending a big hug to all movie fans, to all Chuck Norris fans, including myself. And we go from one legend to another. Well, moving on. Donald Trump. What exactly has POTUS said? ¿Qué ha dicho POTUS exactamente? Also, Chuck Norris, friend of Israel, friend of Bibi, and friend of Israel. Let no one forget it. Great series, Texas Rangers, great series. Donald Trump. There's the message. There's the message. NATO is now a paper tiger. Without the United States, NATO is a paper tiger. They didn't want to join the fight to stop a nuclear-armed Iran. Now that the fight has been won militarily, with very little danger to them, they complain about the high oil prices they are forced to pay. But they don't want to help open the Strait of Hormuz. A simple military maneuver, which is the only reason for the high oil prices. So easy for them to do with so little risk. Cowards. And we will remember it. President Donald J. Trump. Cowards. This is the end? Of NATO? Trump is furious and Trump is not a paper tiger. Iran is charging some ships $2 million in yuan, the currency of China. Trump is furious, by the way. Speaking of fury, it hasn't come out yet, but it will. Another ship on fire? I'm letting you know that there's another ship on fire. There. Strait of Hormuz. Tremendous. Tremendo. Another one. What will Europe do without NATO? What comes next? Well then, friends from the community, watch this video. Christians, Jews, Muslims, Muslims, Christians, Jews, Jews, Muslims, Christians. Does the order matter? Holy city of Jerusalem. Today. You can see the City of David Tower. A missile has landed in the city of Jerusalem. Help me decorate.
My grandfather lines up for the Jew. Wow. Grandfather lines up for Jew. My grandfather lines up.
I'm going to explain it. I'm going to try to explain it so people understand. The place where the missile fell is just meters away. Just meters away from the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Just meters away from the Kotel. They fired it on the day Ramadan ended.
Help me decorate.
Grandpa lines up for the Jew.
Wow.
Tremendous, huh? Tremendous explosion, tremendous video. These people have no scruples. Last night already, we were doing the show and talking about the waves of missiles that were being launched. We have the full video. Now you're going to see it. We already did the full show last night. The waves of missiles have continued today. Now they've been quiet for a while. It's probably because Israel, together with the United States, is bombing the launch sites. We also have video. But this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. ¿Lo estáis viendo? No. Does the Vatican have anything to say? Does the United Nations have anything to say? Does the Islamic League have anything to say? Is there anyone who has anything to say to explain this? Is there anyone who can explain why the city of Jerusalem, where there are no crusades now, has to be bombarded with ballistic missiles? This resembles the movie Kingdom of Heaven. Excuse my sarcasm. In the movie Kingdom of Heaven, you see some catapults throwing stones against the walls. Well, these aren't stones. They're missiles coming from space at 3,000 kilometers per hour. The wall can't withstand that. That is what we're seeing What we're seeing here is it's terrible. It's terrible. It's devastating. A regime that says that it wants to fight against the occupation and tyranny of Israel, and what they want to do is bomb all the holy places. The other day, the tomb, now next to the mosque. How long is the world going to keep looking the other way and not realize the problem we have here with Iran? How long? Even today, the government of Spain again came out again saying poor Lebanese who have left their homes in southern Lebanon. It was unacceptable. Well, and this? Is this acceptable, driving on a road and having a missile fall on you? This is normal. This is logical. I don't think it's normal. No, Alvarez was there. He was in the car. Pedro Sanchez was there. That's normal. A second away from dying. A second away from dying. That's what the video is called. By the way, Audi could make a commercial with the car. Tremendous.
Oh my god.
My god, I was going so slow.
Stuck.
We're live, fam, here on Military Strategies, watching the effects. Another one. This is normal, it's logical, this is something people can imagine, I don't know, in Madrid, in Seville, Malaga, Cordoba, Valencia, that some guys from Africa, because they want to take back Ceuta and Melilla, start launching missiles. Or maybe because they want to take back the Alhambra or the Mosque of Cordoba, they start launching missiles. I think people, look, I have the feeling that people don't really realize the problem we're in, the situation we're facing. And what's the reality of this whole story? Well, this video is already incredible, huh? Pay attention to the video, but I want to read your thoughts in the chat. What do you think? Seriously, what do you think? If some guys show up now, who, after having finished with Israel, destroyed Israel. Now the mosque belongs to them. There's no Holy Sepulchre, no Calvary, nothing at all. And the Mount of Olives, all of that is destroyed. Now it's just a mosque there, with the Shiites controlling everything. And now they say, well, now let's go to Al-Andalus, and now we're going to take back Cordoba, and we're going to take back Granada, and we're going to expand all the way to France. And they start launching missiles and drones. Pay attention to the video. Oh my God. The car is a tank. Oh my God. It's like Godzilla. He grabbed a piece of metal and threw it. A kind of monster, but the monster's name is Iran. The monster's name is Iran. But be careful, because this idiot, the spokesperson of the army, says, the fate of Saddam Hussein is what awaits Trump and Netanyahu, not all of us, on the gallows.
It awaits the criminal Trump and Netanyahu. For us, entering the battlefield is not defeat. God has closed the path of defeat for us. Do you see more than two paths before us? Both paths are honorable for us.
They are crazy to think there is only one path, martyrdom.
A path of loss that their pride has always considered certain.
Let's see, so people understand, because I think there are people here who don't really know the story. It's normal, it's logical, this doesn't have to be something everyone knows. The regime, which has been in power for 47 years, no more and no less, no more and no less, sent 2 million people to slaughter each other, fighting their neighbors. Most of them are 2 million people, just war, Iraq, Iran. Saddam wasn't either. He wasn't exactly a saint. He isn't. But come on, come on. Two million people. Well, now you know the number they're willing to sacrifice. 2 million people. They're real fanatics. Where did the missile land in Jerusalem? So there's no doubt this is the location. That area you're seeing? Here. $300 meters away. From the Al-Aqsa Mosque, 400 meters. 400 from the Kotel, 500 from the Dome. 500 from the Holy Sepulchre. Where was the missile headed? It came from this direction. Towards here, right? Well, it was going to the Holy Sepulchre. If it had continued in a straight line, it would have reached the Holy Sepulchre. The toy launched by Iran. If it had fallen 500 meters in a straight line, at that angle, the way it was going, it was heading to the Holy Sepulchre. So that people open their eyes. Let's see about the Vatican. What are they thinking? If the war is against good or evil, well, neither of those things. We also have breaking news, very important. Breaking news tonight. The United Kingdom officially allows the United States of America to use the Diego Garcia base to launch bombing attacks on Iran. So much for that. We've already seen the spokesperson. And this character, the Iranian dictatorship's whitewasher? What does he say?
That will be the least costly measure and the one that saves the most lives in order to deal with the social and economic consequences of this illegal war. Anyway,
Illegal war, illegal war. They killed 40,000 people, but it's illegal to go destroy the regime that has killed 40,000 people. It's illegal to remember it. Someday, when Spain finds itself in a situation like that, because the United States will say, no, it's just that war is illegal.
after that, it's just that I'm very, very angry.
Yes, he's very angry, he's extremely worried, he's very concerned because, well, the price of the fuel we all pay for his private jet has gone up. His wife can't go to the Dominican Republic anymore with the plane's transponder turned off, so people don't find out, these are things that make you angry.
Not the situation the world is going through. And the situation, yes.
He's really hurt, you can see it, you can see he's suffering every day. He's suffering so much that he has left the Spaniards abandoned in Israel. I'm still getting emails from people in Israel. Stranded, they don't even dare to get on the bus, now not even a bus. Now they're told directly at the embassy, you're on your own to leave through the south of the country or through Jordan, go to the airport and get yourself a plane. And us, we can't say anything else, nor can we do anything else. But mind you, leave us your information so we can add you to the list of 7,000 people we've repatriated. 7,000, my ass. So people finally find out, so that you find out. Not a single plane has arrived to take Spaniards out of Israel, tourists, no one. Those who are Israeli Spanish don't want to leave. No one. However, NATO special forces in Iraq have evacuated the Spanish soldiers in Iraq. As of Wednesday, they have brought in 40 rich people from Dubai and Abu Dhabi.
No. Certain decisions and certain governments. In any case, because the day after tomorrow, that will be, we continue.
We continue with Peter, right?
I want to share with the citizens of our country that wars cost lives, they create refugees, and that alone should be enough.
Refugees. What refugees have come from Iran? Iranians living in Iran don't want to leave. They want their country to be free, without dictatorships, so they can go out without fear of being massacred. What refugees, if the only refugees you are bringing are yourselves? You are the ones who are bringing all the refugees, giving them nationality? Immediately,
To say no to this war.
the guy who is causing the biggest pull effect in all of Europe, and in Europe they no longer know how to stop Pedro Sanchez, says that there is a wave of refugees. No, well, put the army in the Strait of Gibraltar so that no one crosses. I don't know if the Iranians are going to cross Iraq, Jordan, Israel, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Morocco, and make it all the way to Spain, like that. I don't know, maybe we need to control access to Spain better?
No, for Spanish men and women. It's going to cost us 5 billion euros, just like that.
It's costing us to have you in power, especially with the cases of corruption, narcotics, and prostitutes. That's really costing us money, freeing a country from tyranny. I don't care if you spend it on parties. And on women with questionable morals. That matters to me.
5 billion euros that we could be allocating to scholarships.
To scholarships, aid for the self-employed. Then you tell them to pay it back. We allocate it to the people affected by the Dana storm, to the people affected by the volcano, to those affected by the floods. They have no shame, huh? They have no shame.
They don't know. Regarding healthcare,
To healthcare. Waiting 5 to 7 hours to be seen in the emergency room. To get a test done, you have to wait months.
let's see.
My mother, who is dead, after she died, months later, she received a letter to go to the doctor for a test.
Long-term care,
Law of long-term care, law.
when we talk about wars, when there are political leaders who look the other way, law, long-term care, of course, what? His rejection of this war,
But rejection of what? Rejection of a regime that kills 40,000 people in a week, but we're going crazy, Honestly, this really gets me fired up. He's such a bastard.
They also need to know how to explain that already.
But for you to explain your father-in-law's and your wife's businesses in those Sodom and Gomorrah saunas in the center of Madrid.
5 billion euros is what all of us Spaniards are going to have to pay with our taxes in different ways.
You need to lower fuel taxes, lower the VAT. That's what you have to do. Now, he came out today. He said he's going to cut the fuel tax by 10%, not 10%. Cut it by 20. By 21.
What a government to protect the productive sector and the most vulnerable people.
The most vulnerable people.
Anyway, after all, it's just that I'm very, very angry with the situation that's going on.
He's very angry. He goes into Andalusian mode, angry. But look how much of a villain he is. He's been supposed to present the country's budget for months now, but he doesn't do it because he can't get it approved. And pay attention to this. This is just unbelievable.
About the budget, it's more of the same. Look, right now we're dealing with, I think, one of the biggest crises I've had to manage during all the years of my term.
You're managing a crisis in the Middle East, but have you seen where you are on the map? But what is this clown actually managing? Besides appearing on television, breaking commercial relations with the United States, breaking diplomatic relations with Israel, what is he actually managing? Let someone come and explain it. My email is there. Let them come and explain it to us. Pedro Sanchez is managing this, this, and this.
And I think it's important for Spanish citizens to be aware of the seriousness the world is experiencing, that Europe is suffering, and as a result, the consequences we are living through.
If tomorrow there's a war on Easter Island, well, that also affects us, and we're managing it as well. No, if the day after tomorrow there's a war, I don't know, in Burma, because there already is, well, that also affects us. Now, it seems that now everything affects Spain, it affects the citizens. If a whale shark dies in the Philippines, does that also affect them? If there's a migration of flamingos from the Caribbean to Canada, well, that also affects them. Does everything affect us here? It's a disgrace.
Not only in terms of civilian deaths,
But civilian deaths?
not only in terms of the displacement of millions of people,
But who has been displaced yet if Turkey hasn't received any refugees yet? None.
in the Middle East, and also about the socio-economic impact it will have on our homes. We've said it,
But the economic impact is you. You are a scourge.
made it clear, we don't support this war, but will use all state instruments
Hey, what, hey.
at the disposal of what is most important for any president and any government, which is to protect our people.
Yes, you're protecting them great, fantastically. They are very protected. There was a Spaniard, there was a guy who wanted to go to the World Cup by bicycle and he went through Iran. They detained him there for months in a torture prison, telling him he was a spy because he was traveling with his bicycle. Recently, they detained 2 motorcyclists who were traveling the world by motorcycle. But what protection does Mr. Hummus offer? No, not to me yet. Thank goodness, not to me. Well, let's see. It hurts me. I'm Spanish, but I made my decision a long time ago and it doesn't affect me. Thank God it doesn't affect me. It impacts millions in my country, but not me. But people have to put up with this miserable guy thanks to this miserable government. Well, anyway, just keep defending them. Look at what happened to the guy from Australia. The one from Australia went to a mosque to act as a guarantor of integration community. Did they receive him like that?
Yes, what are you doing?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Nationalize them? You nationalize, those who are going to vote for you will vote for you, PSOE.
Hello, hello.
Hello?
The Prime Minister had to run away. Are you going to see it?
The minister running away?
Oh, that he's...
Supporting the genocidal ones, that's what they're telling him.
Look at them.
Look at them there. Also, the ones who shout, because it's not everyone, but the ones who are the first to stand up and shout, all with the same style. All with that Salafist haircut, long beard with a trimmed mustache and baggy clothes, all of them.
This is the homeland.
You have to leave, thanks.
Regards how we navigate the path of engaging political leadership, the media and the wider.
Look at him, look at him. There you have it. There you have the result of kind words. Now you're stuck with them. You have ruined all the countries, Europe, Australia, everywhere. That's the result of Agenda 2030. And the come on in, you're all welcome. Everyone come.
Recognized applause. Mentality moving forward with more advice. Numbers crossing.
Have you brought ruin upon yourselves and your countries? There are some who have a bit of sanity. Obviously, there are some who are sane. But looking at four freaks can really mess you up. Look at him. The guy is terrified. Now you're terrified, right? Now you're scared? Now you're experiencing firsthand what people in Israel go through. In some places, when they want to cut your head off.
Look at him, look at him.
Look at him. He can't even breathe.
About the issues affecting our community.
You can't even get up. He doesn't even dare to get up. What a humiliation for Australia. It's crazy. Anthony Albanese. His face is priceless. He doesn't even dare to get up. You didn't see this coming, did you, Albanese?
Salam alaikum wa rahmatullah. Wa. You call him honorable. You call him honorable. He is responsible for the death of 1 million people. 1 million people.
This is what they're letting in. This is the wave that Sanchez talks about. This is it. This is the wave.
1 billion!
Yes, they've already killed 1 million in Gaza. It used to be 30,000, 20,000, 60,000, but now it's 1 million. Then some guys grab some shotguns and rifles, go to an Australian beach, and start shooting at Jews as if they were rabbits.
No.
There's Albanese being evacuated in an emergency. Thank you. He says, why are you protecting him?
Hey, wait!
We don't know if he went straight to the bathroom or if he'll be able to sleep tonight. Look.
He supports him, brother. He supports him. What are they doing?
Do you know why they don't represent us anymore? They don't represent us?
You will never represent us again? Telling others that they have common sense. And I say again, not all of them are bad. But this individual who is radicalized, who has a radicalized profile and is also violent, and who is willing to use violence. He tells the rest, who are also Muslims, you no longer represent us, you are no longer one of us, you are apostates. That's the profile, that's the problem, that's the problem. We are live, family, on military strategies, telling what nobody wants to tell, telling the reality of this planet, telling what is happening, what is going on. Which is no small thing. Which is no small thing. Let's start opening the alert map, because I think this is going to start going off any moment now. I don't know, I just feel like I'm being too intense. In today's show, we've been going at a very high intensity for 49 minutes. But either we go on like this, or they're going to finish us all, or people realize the whole story, or they'll finish us all. I want you to realize the seriousness of the situation we're in on a global level. It will come back to haunt them. The Socialist Party, they think that by naturalizing people like these, they're going to end up voting. No, no, thank you. They're starting their own party, thanks. What else would they do? And you'll see what's going to happen. People who laugh at this should look at New York. Just look at New York. Mandani went out, he went to all the mosques in New York, and everyone went to vote for him. It's the beginning. First stage, it's the beginning, but well, let's leave geopolitics aside for a bit. Let's leave the situation aside. Excuse me, let's try to speed things up a little. I have terrible pain and will go to the hospital right after the live stream, 100%. I'm going to show you a couple of videos. Let's go with this topic. You just have to get fired up. Sorry for my tone. I don't usually act like this. But it's just that it's too much. It's too much. It's too much what we're putting up with. Come on, B-52. Taking off, I think. Taking off from the United Kingdom. Heading to Iran, and let's take a look at the combat configuration. Let's go. This plane is amazing, huh? You can see there, it's carrying cruise missiles. It's carrying a cruise missile configuration, and that means there's still no complete air dominance over Iran. And it's likely that there won't be any. Why? Because they have the mobile systems tucked away to set up an ambush at some point, like what happened to the F-35. We'll discuss that in another show, since the video falls apart and has holes everywhere. But B-52s are still launching long-range cruise munitions. They are not being used in ground attack configuration with guided bombs. This means there is still doubt about achieving total air superiority. Despite what Donald Trump says, despite what they say in Israel, there is no total air superiority. As long as these planes keep launching cruise munitions, cruise missiles, to understand it, they are more expensive than gravity penetration munitions. And they are used, in this case, they are used to attack from long range. This was the moment when it left. This is the moment when it returns. By the way, this plane crossed France today. The other day, they weren't allowed to cross France or Spain, but today, they were able to cross France. First, look, how does this land? Oh my goodness! How does it move? The contraption? It comes with empty base, having unloaded all ammunition, both external and internal, including the internal magazine that releases rounds. The cruise missiles, it's rotary, the belly opens up and cruise missiles start to drop. Alright, where have they been today? What have they been up to? The state is bombing today. Well, let's take a look. Images from CENTCOM, and for those who follow this channel, this place will look very familiar. Let's take a look at it. What we're seeing here is the attack on an Iranian missile facility. We're seeing those cruise missiles hitting the facility. Missile silos, and not just any silos. What we're seeing live right now, family, is one of the most advanced facilities in Iran's missile program, one that is very dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because this facility we're looking at. As soon as I saw the silhouette, I already knew which one it was. It's a facility we've talked about many times. It's in Iran, at this site. Let's zoom out a bit so people can get their bearings. Point number 7 on our map today. Today I think there are 9 points we need to cover in this show, in this first show of the day. Hopefully we'll do another one. I don't know if I'll be able to or not. May God give me health and strength, especially strength. This one we see here, I want you to pay attention. I want you to notice the first detail. This, el cortado. The shakos, to make a bombardment much more difficult, the missile silos are positioned at a certain angle. To make a direct hit more difficult. In fact, what you see here, so that people understand, what you see there, that little shadow, is a hatch. That hatch opens. When that hatch opens, missiles come out from there. 1, 2, 3. We go a little higher. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tubes or 7 launch silos, but be careful because they're not normal, they're not regular launches. This is the famous place, or of the famous type of installation that we've seen for a long time, that we've talked about many times, and that's called a revolver. This is the place that we're going to see in these images. Let's see images. We're going to see in these images. I'm going to play the clip. Here it is. Let's watch it. Family, from the inside, a facility similar to the one we're seeing. We are live right now. Your likes, your comments, and reactions are super important. You have to hit the heart button a lot. Thank you for the super chats. I'll say it again, the state of Israel is not funding our trip. They haven't paid for any tickets or anything like that. Here, we're doing it all ourselves. Thanks to you for you, that's why we're here. If you want to support us, you can do it through our PayPal, paypal.me/estrategiasmilitares. And with super chats. Any help is very welcome to cover the expenses of this special operation of military strategies in Israel. Thank you very much, family. Let's watch it. Revolver silo. The missiles are mounted on a rail. Those missiles are mounted and they go across. They go by in a line through those holes we've seen from the air, and they get fired. That allows them to launch missiles at a high rate, protected in a sealed room where it's very hard to attack it. That's what we're seeing from the ground and from the air. But what were we seeing in the video? Every operation has its limitations, and this one does too. This one has its limitation. According to the video we've seen, the silos are not attacked, the entry is attacked. That place is the one that takes the direct impact of cruise missiles. What has been done? The mountain has been broken in this upper area to cause a landslide that buries the entrance. No. There are 4 entrances to this place. First, it hit the door, second in the upper part, third even higher. At the same time, in the lower left part, you can also see more explosions. Second entry. Third entry. What does this tell us? Several things, some good and some bad. The surface facility has been attacked. This one here, this entrance through which vehicles, launchers, and mobile units would probably exit has also been attacked. They have been closed, according to what we've seen in the video. This one we see here has also been closed. Another one we have here, blocked. Another one, another one. But the underground installation remains intact. There have been no direct attacks on the silo. The type of munitions that have been used are not capable of penetrating to the depth where that installation is located. What we're seeing here is a kind of buying time so that no one can enter or leave. But technically, Iran could still launch missiles through the silos. If the gate isn't damaged, which I imagine it probably is, but in a matter of hours they could repair it and launch missiles again, we have a problem. We need to use the B-2 planes and drop a lot of bunker-penetrating munitions, the GBU, the 59S, to reach that depth and destroy the entire facility. Be careful, the room shown in the video, where they're loaded onto the rail, is isolated from the rest of the facility. There are reinforced concrete doors so that the explosion doesn't spread throughout the mountain and blow everything up. So they're buying time, but it's not a permanent solution. Unfortunately, it's not. Last night in Tehran, anti-aircraft fire. Today, the head of Basij intelligence was taken out, high-ranking officials were eliminated, and once again, critical infrastructure was attacked. Of Iran. Is that right? I want to show you another photo. Kwani has appeared. Agent Kwani is back in action. He says there are going to be many more surprises. Mojtaba has written a message for the Eid celebration, congratulating the Muslims. And explosions. Many explosions, like this one. Pay attention to this photograph. Last night we were talking about waves of missile launches against Israel. That's the moment of the ballistic missile launch against Israel. Where is that place? Well, with the photograph you can know a lot of things. This is the facility from where those missiles have been launched. Let's take a look at it. In the next few hours, it has to be bombed immediately. The IDF already knows the location. Here you can see the bunkers. You can also see them in this area here. All these bunkers have 2 floors, a lower floor and an upper floor. You can even see the launch silo here. It's a facility that was being built on the outside, but inside it was already finished. It's an extension of this one, another one, this one we're seeing here. We can see how to get inside. It's the typical facility where there are missile launchers, a missile assembly center, storage, and a consolidated structure over several kilometers. The launch area seems to be almost over this zone. From here, according to the photograph we were viewing, and that I, taking a look around with the satellite, have found. There's even another one, a little farther away, hidden from view, which is this one here. There. I continue to see capability from Iran. I'm going to put it here so you can see it. Point number 1. I continue to see capability from Iran to attack with missiles. Is that the priority, or should it be the priority right now, given what we're seeing and what we know? The commander of the Air Force in Isfahan has also been eliminated. He has also been eliminated. I'm going to show you a video of what happened in Baghdad the other night. These are impressive, the kind that many people in this community like. Seeing how weapons work, well, this is how they work. A Shahed drone was heading to collide with the United States Embassy in Baghdad. And thanks to God, well, the CRAM, which is the machine gun system, this one you see, a high-rate anti-aircraft cannon, has obviously managed to shoot it down. Incredible footage. An A-10, a flying tank being refueled in flight. Somewhere over Iraq. I want to show you a photo of the facility we discussed recently. Naval. Let's look for it. Let's look for it. Let's see where it is. Let's see where this place is. If we find it again. Did you know that Iran has underwater facilities? To store the boats, I mean, the surface boats. All those stories we've seen, and they are in tunnels. The other day on the special show we did about tunnels, we were talking precisely about this location. This one we see here. Let's zoom in on the entrance. Those boats you can see over there, they've dropped bunker busters, but it hasn't managed to penetrate all the way to the back. You can see the craters there, but there's no collapse of the entrance to the dry dock, so it's still there, it's still standing. This is at the base, which is... We have to launch something stronger. If you want to open the Strait of Hormuz, if you don't want to open it, of course the story could be totally different. Since the image isn't clear, we're going to look it up on the map so you can see the full view. 1 second, let's get the coordinates. I don't know it by heart. I have my limitations. Let's look for it here. 2672. I know we saw it the other day because we were watching it live, but It's better if we watch it again now. And this highlights, look, the United States. Israel is doing a great job. But there are some facilities that I think that can only be dealt with from the ground. And that's why precisely now we're going to see the arrival of the Marines. I think that's
why we're going to see the arrival of the Marines. There it is. This is the place. This is the place.
based on the photograph we saw. Two anti-bunker rounds right on top. Two bombs. But we also have to be honest, it seems they haven't managed to destroy it. If there is damage to the outer structure, if we look around here, we see how this structure was destroyed. But it hasn't been completely destroyed. Next photograph. The place where he died. Ismail Qatif, the Minister of Intelligence. By the way, Iran has already issued another threat to tourists. Jews and Israelis abroad. This is the place. This was the last resting place of Qatif, destroyed. Completely destroyed. And over the last few days, we've been talking a lot about cluster munitions. This is an approximation of how they're made. We see the warhead. This is a 3D simulation, but it has been seen in images. We see the warhead with different ones. Kind of like blue bottles that are grenades falling down. We also see a red projectile in the upper left. Those are the 5 or 6 kilo ones. They're the ones that get in, penetrate, and do a lot of damage. That's the biggest risk right now in the attacks from Iran against Israel. It's one of the most dangerous things. So people understand and know what we're talking about. And why is it so complicated? When that opens, it's very complicated to destroy or bring down. Very, very complicated. 100%. The other day I said we had a video. I forgot that we were going to watch one about a last-minute interception. Something that was amazing, amazing, amazing to watch. Thank you for clarifying the Vatican has no involvement in places in the Holy Land. I know they're Orthodox churches, but can the Vatican exert international pressure? Obviously, it should do so. Because of the influence it has? So I think something more should be done. Let's see. Let's watch the video I had prepared for today. Well, I had it prepared for yesterday. It's impressive. Try to find it. Wild. It's a wild video. It's not loading. Let's check out your comments, family. What are you all saying today? I think the day is incredible. So many things are happening. So many things are going on. None of us can be left indifferent. No one. We're missing a lot of likes. Family, only 13,000 likes. There are 26,000 of us live right now talking about military strategies. Super important. What we're seeing right now, we are living through the history that will determine the future of humanity. For the coming years, we are witnessing living history, a very important history. The future of the Middle East region. Everything that is happening right now, so important, so significant for the lives of millions of people. In Iran, in Israel, the United Arab Emirates, in Saudi Arabia, everywhere. If this ends, the world will be much better. 100% much better, but sirens are sounding. Prendemos alarmas. Sirens in the north. The night begins. The shooting starts, the missiles start, the drones, all of this right now moving. Happening in real time. Let's connect to the cameras to see what the situation is like right now in Israel. Hezbollah attack, northern area. Let's see if we can spot anything on the cameras. You know we do everything here. Let's connect to the cameras, folks, in a second, so we can have a direct view of what's happening over there. Let's see. It's in the northeast area. Kiryat Shmona, there's a launch from Iran, there's a missile launch from Iran, attack. Sound 5 minutes, 5. 5 minutes launch from Iran, fam. We still don't know the targets. Live image right now. Meanwhile, we have 5 minutes left. I want you to see this attack. You have to see this. A community member sent it to us, but I won't share their name for privacy. Brutal. This video is really brutal.
Attack! Attack!
An Iran missile.
What is this?
It's gonna mess things up here, come on.
Whoa, whoa! There goes the Iranian missile. It's falling. The interceptor missile has failed. It's not a cluster missile. It's a missile with a warhead of over 1,000 kilos.
Do you see where Iran is going?
What missile is that?
The interceptor fails.
It broke it. It broke it. It broke it.
Watch the image coming from the right. A missile appears from the right, almost skimming the neighbor's rooftops. Almost skimming the neighbor's heads. And it hits it. Amazing, it's amazing, my God.
What is that?
The interceptor is launched. It fails. The missile probably changes trajectory at the last second. In fact, it does. You can see how the trajectory of that missile changes. Let's zoom in a bit. Did you see how it moved? Look at it closely. Again, the capability of Iran's missiles. Look at it closely. It does a kind of zigzag. The missile jumps. And now you have to see this. It's falling. Right side. Wow, breaking news. Tremendous. The most hardcore arriving in Rishon in 2 minutes. Family. For that attack from Iran, we still don't have targets. We don't know where it's going to hit. Nothing is known yet. Let's see. Let's find out where it is, where it's going to land now. And where it's going to hit, we are live right now. Attack on Israel. Share this in your groups. Let's watch it live. Let's see where it lands. 1 minute. We have targets. Yavne, the ancient kingdom of Ibelin. Well, it wasn't a kingdom. It was a territory of the Ibelin Crusaders. Sirens. Central Israel. We're in the bunker. Don't worry, we're in the bunker. Jerusalem, massive attack too. Massive attack right now. The ancient kingdom.
Missile camera 10, missile on camera 10.
Missile on camera 10.
Possible cluster munition. Explosion. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cluster. Cluster munitions. Let's watch it again, fam. Notice that the alarm started sounding while the countdown was still going. Meaning the missile arrived sooner than the usual 7 minutes. Sorry about the sound. I'm going to turn it off. The alarm is going off, but I'll turn it off so I don't scare people. I know this really bothers people in Israel. I want us to focus on camera 10. Camera 10 will be key. We can review it calmly now. Replay, huh? Is this a replay? They dropped it right on us. I mean, they fired the missile right at us. Literally, right where we are doing the live broadcast here. Look over here. Camera 10, it will come up soon. Is the alarm still going off? It's terrible, especially since today's weather isn't ideal for heading to a public shelter. It's an unbelievable, horrible day. This is a replay. Everyone stay calm. No information yet on injuries or damage. I know there were moments, as seen on camera 10, there was a moment where it was visible. I can't catch the time, but we saw it. Come on, we saw it live. What happened over there? The bad weather, likely due to the clouds, makes things complicated. The launch has happened again. Let's look at it on the alert map. This is very interesting too. The launch has happened again from the northwest of this area. From this area here, it has been launched again. Entering through the Syrian area, it's a corridor they found to launch missiles, and it's working very well for them to reach central Israel. And while that's what's happening, that's what's going on. That's how it is, fam. Is Israel going to attack again? That's exactly what I'm always talking about, that it can happen at any moment. Millions of people right now in the bunkers right now, stuck in there, waiting for the alarm to pass, for the danger to pass, for Iran to stop launching. That's how you have to live. That's the future they want for us. Today it's Israel, tomorrow it could be Europe. It could happen at any moment. Any moment. I was heading downtown, but they also sounded the alarm in Jerusalem in case it was intercepted. From what we're seeing in the news, the information they're giving us right now, and it's interesting. This is very, very, very interesting because we're going to see if there are any images. I think we already have images of the missile. We have images of the missile. We have images, folks. We have images. Let's take a look. We are live. I have to apologize. I'm not really at my best. I'm already in so much pain I can't stand it. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to the hospital to see if they can perform a miracle so I can keep doing live streams. Oh my goodness, what a video, family. First video of this attack. Here we are, leave, family, watching cluster munitions fall on central Israel. Drones in the north and no injuries have been reported at this time. There are no injuries at this time. And drone attack in the north. Family? Tremendous, very tremendous first video we've received. There are no injuries. At the moment, there's no information about injuries, so you can now leave the shelters. Now the alarm is coming in. We can now leave the bunker. Well, military strategies. I'm going to the doctor, to the hospital, or wherever to see what they can do for my back because I feel like I'm dying. Family, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you for your kindness and support and for being there for the channel. I'll try to return later, but I'm not sure when. Well, it's going to be an experience too. It's the first time I'm going to an Israeli hospital. I'm not sure how long it'll take, but I'll return as soon as I can. Big hug. Vemos. En el siguiente programa nos vamos ahora con Marcelo Kisileski. Mandarle un saludo de mi parte. Y nos vemos en el siguiente programa.